The gentleman sitting in front of me needs absolutely no introduction. Suffices to say, he's still the fastest human being alive. Usain Bolt, thank you so much for joining me.
Happy to be here.
Almost 10 years after your retirement, what are you up to these days?
Um, well, there's a lot of sponsorship work here with Puma, of course. Charity work. I have 3 kids now, so they keep me busy. So, yeah.
Do they make you run?
No, not yet, not yet. They're still kind of slow, so it's fine.
Do you run for fun or no running?
Nobody runs for fun, unless it's like long distances. I was never a long distance runner. I still try to work out as much as possible.
Right. When you look back on your career, and what an illustrious career it has been, what is the most precious achievement to you? You've got 8 Olympic gold medals, multiple world championships, world records, but what is that one thing that you hold most dear?
It was always the first one. Getting that first one meant a lot, you know what I mean? Because when you come into the sport of athletics, you just want to win an Olympic gold. So winning my first Olympic gold was a big deal for me.
Did you miss that adrenaline rush? Did you miss not lighting up at the starting line?
Yeah, for sure. I do miss competing. I was at the World Championships this year, and it was hard to watch, just watch. So for me, but also exciting. So I was really happy, but it's tough to watch.
But it's a world championship with a lot of Jamaicans coming up, so that must be good
Yeah.
news for you.
Yeah. The guys actually came 1-2 this year, so I was very happy to see Jamaica back on top this year. So yeah.
In the nearly 10 years that you've retired, technology to abet running, abet speed has advanced by leaps and bounds. Yet your world records stand there.
Yeah.
Why do you think no one has been able to beat them?
Somebody asked that question to me, and the only thing I can come up with is that our generation was a lot more talented, I must say. I don't know, yeah. I think maybe we're just a lot more talented, or maybe we work harder, I don't know.
Would you put your money on someone to beat your world record?
No.
We all talk about the achievements of Usain Bolt. The thing is, it's not just the talent, there's a lot of hard work behind it, which often gets, we don't talk about it. Can you talk us through the sacrifices, the hard work that went into those enormous achievements?
It's just a lot of dedication and sacrifice and just sweat and tears we have to go through. For me, it was tough, but it's something that I understood that they had to do if I wanted to be the best. That's the first lesson before I left my home that my dad taught me. My dad was always saying, listen, if you want something, you have to work hard. And anytime you need anything, work hard, you will get it. And that's something that stuck with me throughout my life. And I've always just pushed through and try to be the best that I can be.
Can you recall a day where your body wasn't there, probably your mind wasn't there, but you would push through and practice?
Yeah, there's a lot of days. There's a lot of days when the training gets tough and your body's telling you, you know what, you need to stop, you know what I mean? And you have to push through. So it's been a lot of days. Mentally, you just got to tell yourself, listen, this is what I want. I want to be the best, and if I want to be the best, I have to do it. And that's one of the reasons I did my documentary also, I Am Bolt, to show behind the scenes that people can see exactly what it takes to be a champion.
Who've been your mentors and inspiration on a day where you couldn't push yourself? You look up to them and say, I have to.
Well, for me, I have a great team around me over the years that really came through for me in the tough times, really supported me and pushed me to be the best. You know what I mean? They had the same aspirations for me, so we were always on the same page. So anytime I was down on myself or I needed that extra push, they supported me.
Right. In sports, as in business, there are 2 key challenges: consistency and longevity.
Yeah.
You've done that beautifully. Your 8 Olympic gold medals span across 3 Olympic Games.
Yeah.
What did you do to stay ahead of the curve?
For me, it was just, as you said, it's all about consistency. Having a coach like Glenn Mills, we kind of locked in on what we wanted to do. You know what I mean? We understood that we were aiming for the Olympics, but we took it a year at a time. So every year we would set goals for ourselves and then work towards it. So for me, I didn't worry about the last Olympics. I took it a step at a time every year, making sure I was in good shape, making sure I was healthy, making sure I was getting rest, all these things. So I took steps every year to make sure that I was in the best possible shape of my life. And then it just came together over the years.
The first one is always easier because you're the challenger, and then you become the challenged.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
I live for competition, so it was fun for me. Anytime somebody showed up, or I know the competition is going to be tough, it drives me to train harder. So for me, it was great knowing these guys were out there and they were ready to compete. For me, it was easy to be the challenger, you know what I mean? So it was excited to be chased.
When you used to race, we, the spectators, fans, we would always, want you to win. We would think that, okay, Usain Bolt hits the tracks, there would be a world record. How did you handle the pressure of expectations, that constant pressure to do even better?
For me, I understand that fans want to see greatness, so I try to be as great as possible, but my expectation for myself is always higher than any fan. That's how I always tell people. I put so much pressure on myself because I know my goal and what I was striving towards, and I didn't want to make any mistakes. So it's something that I do not listen to the outside noise. When I'm on the track, I perform for my fans, but otherwise I kind of stay to myself and try not to listen about what's going on, because there's always somebody saying something negative or wants more. So I've always focused on myself.
Whenever we saw you at the starting line, you looked very casual, not facing the kind of pressure that we thought you were. Was that something you consciously put forth, or was that your natural state of being?
That's just who I am. I learned at an early age with my coach that you can't, when you get to the line, you can't be worried because you have already done the work. And I'm always confident in the work that I put in. And I know if I worked hard and I was great, then I'll be fine.
We know Usain Bolt, the sprinter. He's also a lucrative brand even 10 years after retirement. You've got companies like Puma in your portfolio. How did you craft your image? Is that something you did consciously?
Not at the start. You kind of just became your own person, you know what I mean? And then over time you understand that image is everything. But I have to give it up to my parents because they made it easy for me, because I was just naturally a fun, relaxing, respectful person, so it was easy, and it just be me and then it'll be fine.
Right. And now how do you manage to retain that appeal? Is that something that you think about to maintain that brand image?
No, you do think about it, you know what I mean? You try to live as great as possible because I understand that I am a role model. So I try to live respectfully, I try to make sure I speak right and I motivate. So something that I definitely do think about.
One of the key aspects of brand Usain Bolt is your lightning bolt pose. Yeah. How did that come about?
It's just something that kind of happened. Me and a friend, we talked about it and we said, you know what, I should create something or do something, and that's what I came up with.
Okay. You've dabbled in a few entrepreneurial ventures as well with a mixed bag of results. Is there a lesson that you take from it? How does an athlete turn into an entrepreneur?
No, for me, you have to try. You know what I mean? In life, like track and field, you have to try and work hard. You will make mistakes, but you can never just give up. You know what I mean? So it's something that if I like something, if I want to do something, I take a chance. You know what I mean? And that's why you have a team around it to say, yes, yeah, sounds good, or no, we shouldn't do this, or maybe we should do it like this. So it's always good to have a great team, good set of people with you. Last
question. You're probably one of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen, but if you were to define your legacy, what would that be?
For me, I want to be just remembered as one of the greatest athletes, as you said, but also one of the best performers. You know what I mean? I went out there all the time just to perform for people, not just to compete, you know what I mean? So I would love to be remembered as one of the greatest, but a great performer also. That's a fantastic note to end the conversation with. Thank you so much, Usain Bolt, for your time today. No problem. Thank you. Pleasure.